Hello and welcome once again in my home. I'm Reverend Rick Clay. It's been a while since I made a video. No real reason, just other things going on. I want to talk today about science versus religion and why there seems to be only one or the other. I don't think they need to cancel each other out. I don't think science and religion are exclusive of each other. In fact, I think that you can't have one without the other. Now, the smallest thing that we know about or that we theorize about is called a superstring. These are little ovals of energy that vibrate, and they are thought or theorized to make up the subatomic particles that make up a quark. Now, a quark is the particles that make up electrons, protons, and neutrons. Those are the particles that make up an atom. Atoms make up everything around us. Now, the Earth is made up of atoms, elements, water, air, fire, water, all the elements. And we revolve around the sun with 7 to 8 other planets, depending on what year you're in and who you ask. Much like an atom moves. You have the nucleus of an atom and you got electrons spinning around it. Much like our solar system. Our solar system is part of a bigger element, which is the Milky Way galaxy. Now, we're one little way off in the arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Now, the Milky Way galaxy is so big that it takes 250 million years for it to revolve once. And it's estimated that there are about 400 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Now, just what we can see, we estimate that there's about 140 billion other galaxies in the known universe. So we go from the known universe to a galaxy, to the solar system, to the Earth, to an atom, to an electron, proton, neutron, to a quark, to a superstring. See, everything gets bigger, smaller, 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 smaller. Now, what's bigger than the universe? Is anything bigger than the universe? Well, nobody knows. But I would suggest that much like we theorize that there is a superstring that makes up quarks, which makes up subatomic particles, which makes up atoms, that our universe as we know it is in of itself a subatomic particle. Now, there's an infinite universe theory going on out there, that for every atom, every molecule, that there's a universe. It sounds really abstract, but just think about it. In an alternate universe, I could be king of the world, literally. In an alternate universe, I could be a plant on the top of a mountain in Appalachia somewhere. In an alternate universe, I could be pond scum in the bottom of a pond in Minnesota. There's a universe for everything you can think of. And that seems to make a little more sense to me. People have a need to think that they're part of something else. That is the basic premise and foundation of religion. That's why we have it. People need to think that there's more. I agree, there is more. There has to be. When you think about the numbers involved, the billions and billions and billions of stars, galaxies, now we know we have other planets out there. So far, there's been over 200 planets discovered on faraway solar systems, with more discovered all the time. As science evolves, so does our knowledge of the universe. And as our knowledge of the universe evolves, the closer to understanding of what it is that we seek in God, the closer we get to that. Who's to say that God, whomever, whatever, is not sitting at home somewhere waiting for us to come knock on a door and say, hey, we found you. We figured it out. We learned the keys. We studied. We theorized. We figured it out. We're here. Who knows? There could be stranger things. To give you an illustration of some of the sizes and distances involved, if my fist was the size of an atom, you say you take an atom, and we're talking about scale here. My fist the size of an atom, this atom on a same scale Earth would be the size of one of my actual atoms in my hand. Does that make sense? So if this were an atom on an Earth of the same scale, my fist would be the same size as an atom. That's... just think about the size there. And that plays out billions and billions and billions of more times. 4,000 years ago, people were convinced that you could walk up to the edge of the earth and come to the point to where the sky and the earth met, and you could actually touch the sky. Now we know that's not true. A couple thousand years ago, people knew the earth was flat. They knew it. Now we know that's not true. A couple hundred years ago, we knew everything revolved around the earth. Now we know that's not true. You know, at one time we thought cells were the smallest things there were. We know it's not true. Now we think superstrings are the smallest things that there are. Probably not true. So the more we learn, the more we expand our knowledge, the closer to the ultimate truth and understanding of who, what, and where we are and where we come from we get. I hope that makes sense for some people. I'm not bashing religion in any way. I'm not bashing science in any way. I believe in both. I believe when you can take a 100-million-year-old fossil that you can find on the top of the Rocky Mountains, that's proof of something. Okay? 95% of the people on the face of this earth believe in something more than what we see around us. Maybe there's more. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Thanks once again for joining me. This is Reverend Rick Clay. I'll see you soon.